Hi, it's Lucy Carlson here. I've certainly been going crazy with a lot of the Black Friday sales that online stores have had, including Amazon. Amazon actually had a great sale on a release of a certain classic anime series that got a Blu-ray release a few years ago, so I finally started picking it up to start my collection. The title I'm looking at today is Set 1 of Ranma 1/2, the classic anime series from Rumiko Takahashi. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Nice cover art with all the principal characters there. There were earlier deluxe Blu-ray editions that use these same transfers. This is just the standard release. Normally this goes for about $50, but during Black Friday, Amazon had it on sale for like $15, so I wasn't going to pass up a deal like that. Inside the slipcover, you have pretty much the same art. We get 3 discs in this set 1. We have disc 1, which has episodes 1 through 8, disc 2, which has episodes 9 through 16, and disc 3, which has episodes 17 through 23, as well as the bonus features. From master creator Rumiko Takahashi, the mixed-up madcap martial arts romantic comedy Ranma 1/2 returns. After taking a surprise dip in a cursed spring while on a training journey in China, martial artist Ranma Sotome and his father, Genma, aren't quite themselves anymore. Now Ranma turns into a girl whenever he's splashed with cold water, and Genma turns into a panda. Their new forms cause nothing but confusion at the Tendo Dojo, where Son Tendo is waiting to introduce one of his 3 daughters to Ranma as his fiancée. Turns out Genma and Sun arranged the match long ago, but the girl, Akane, and the boy, Ranma, aren't exactly crazy about the idea, or each other. Or are they? Watch the gender-switching, jealous rages, and martial arts battles unfold all over again. I've certainly been familiar with Ranma 1/2 over the years, even though I've never really sat down and watched the anime before. I have read a few of the manga chapters, but this was my first time actually picking up and watching some of the anime. And I have to say, even though I'm only a few episodes in so far, it's certainly a lot of fun. Rumiko Takahashi is certainly one of the greatest manga artists and illustrators of all time. Prior to this, she'd been known for the series Urusei Yatsura, but she'd cement her legacy once and for all in the 1990s with the release of one of the most legendary anime series of all time, Inuyasha. This, of course, takes us back to Rumiko Takahashi's earlier days, something that's certainly a little more humorous and off the wall than something like Inuyasha. Ranma 1/2 is just madcap humor and martial arts action. It's over the top and it never lets up. The premise is silly, but it's certainly quite entertaining. Of course, seeing Ranma, who's now switching between a boy and a girl depending on what water he gets splashed with, certainly finds himself in quite the predicament, especially when he has to move to live with 3 young girls, one of whom is supposed to be his fiancée, but actually hates all men. So, needless to say, that complicates things. And the relationship he has with his father, Genma, who turns into a panda when he's splashed with water, it gets even more madcap and crazy. I'm not going to get too into details here because I don't want to give any spoilers, but Ranma 1/2 is certainly a lot of fun. And I'm glad I finally got to sit down and watch the anime adaptation. I haven't watched every single episode in this set yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far, and I'm pretty sure it's never going to let up. There are several other sets that were released by Viz of Ranma on Blu-ray, and if they do any more sales on sites like Amazon for these kinds of prices and they get them back in stock, I'll certainly be the first one to pull the trigger there. Ranma 1/2, of course, is an anime series from the 1980s, and older anime coming out on Blu-ray has been a bit of a risky proposition over the years. I mean, we've had cropped Dragon Ball Z releases, we've had Sailor Moon releases that have been just plastered with noise reduction and processing. So I was, needless to say, a little pessimistic as to how Ranma would look. But I have to say, overall, I'm actually pretty impressed with the results. This is in the original 4:3 ratio. It is not cropped, and it does have a slight faded and natural film grain look to it. So it's clear this has not been digitally tinkered with or given any excessive noise reduction or unwanted treatments. It's a natural show that looks like it probably did back when it first came out back in the day. Probably even better than that since it's in a 1080p format now. So I have to say, I'm actually pretty impressed with what I see here. Don't come in here expecting something that's going to be like high-def, ultra-grade reference material for your collection, but fans of Ranma, I think, will be happy with what they get. You do get the show with both English audio and Japanese audio with English subtitles. One minor complaint I have is that it does not default to the English track that has translations for signs and symbols that you'll see that are written in Japanese. So you actually have to enable that feature separately. That's a little annoying, but a minor complaint overall. As far as bonus features go, we get some excerpts from Comic-Con events promoting the new manga and anime remastered releases. We get some trailers, textless intros, and a few other little featurettes here and there. So it is good to see that Viz didn't just slap Ranma on these discs without any sort of bonus features. I don't know if you'll find yourself going back to this stuff more than once, but seeing any bonus features whatsoever in a release like this is a welcome addition. I had a lot of fun watching Ranma 1/2, and if you want to get into old school anime, this is certainly one worth looking into. Just a brief heads up though, this is a TV-14 rated series. I would not recommend this for young children. There is a lot of nudity, so just a heads up there. I mean, it is something that never quite takes itself seriously, action-packed, humor-packed, but again, not something I would share with the little ones. How about you? Are you a fan of Ranma 1/2? Do you think it's the best work to come from Rumiko Takahashi? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure you give us a like if you found it helpful. I'm Taylor T. Carlson. I'll see you next time.